Hi, I'm Darren, the one that made those embarrassing Uto cover videos and those shitty speed paints that are now copy claimed. And this is a OC introduction video. Woohoo! So I got this idea from Empress Kaiju, who used to be called Aeroflex Dracona, but she changed that now. And yeah, I got inspiration from her to do this video because her character introductions are pretty cool, and I wanted to do one for my characters. Anyways, I'm going to be talking about my persona, Darren. Yes, I named him after myself. His full title is Darren of Oblivion, but I just call him Darren because that's easier than saying the entire thing. So, I've had the I've had this particular persona character for a very long time, he they never like if I showed you a picture of my persona from when I was 13 and compared it to my persona now to Darren, you would never guess that they were the same character because they look so different. But basically, as I grew up and changed, my persona character grew up and changed. So basically, my designing process of my characters is that I basically just drew what I liked and what I wanted to look like when I at that point. So yeah, I want to look like that. So about my boy Darren. Darren is a dude in his 50s, and he doesn't look like he's in his 50s because he's a vampire, because vampires are cool. But he's in his 50s, and he is a jazz musician, and he plays bass. And the design for his bass is based off of an actual bass that I have, and yeah, he plays bass. He is the type of character. He's 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 basically me if I didn't have anxiety and depression. You know, I think you can tell by my voice that I have issues because I'm not a personable person, to be honest. Even though I wish I was, I'm just not. So more about Darren. He has three pet snakes: a California red-sided garter snake, a ball python, and a big old rainbow boa. I don't have names for the snakes yet because I haven't really thought about it, but he has those as pets because I personally like snakes. So he is, as I mentioned before, he is a vampire, and he can shapeshift into a cat. And like all of my other vampire characters also shapeshift into cats because I personally think as vampires it's more I just like cats better than bats. As cool as bats are, I like cats better. I don't have much information about my version of vampires because I don't really have much thought out yet. All I have decided for myself is that they can turn into cats and they drink blood. It doesn't have to be human blood, but it has to be blood, and they have to drink it. And it's very easy to get addicted. Because if you don't drink enough blood, you go you go bad, and if you drink too much blood, you get addicted and you go bad. So it's very easy to go bad as a vampire. So how Darren became a vampire? Well, well, he has a husband named Jacques, and Jacques is a guy is he's a French man from France from the 1800s back from back from that point of time, I can't remember exactly what happened during that time. I think it was the French Revolution. I don't fucking know because I didn't do well in in social studies. But you know, the 1800s. So he's at least 100 years old. I don't know. I don't know. But Jacques is he's stupid rich. Stupid rich. He has a nice house in America. He moved to America back in the 60s, the 1960s, because that whole debacle and that point of time that I actually remember, but I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to. But yeah, Jacques has been living in the Americas since the 60s, the 1960s. And Jacques and Darren met back in the 1990s. They met in the 90s. When Darren and Jacques first met, Darren didn't realize that Jacques was an actual person. He just thought it was a cat, like a stray cat, because, as I said before, vampires can shapeshift into cats. So, when Jacques first revealed to Darren that he was a he was a person, not just a cat, Darren was very confused, but he was like, "Okay, I I guess." And they started talking more, and Jacques invited Darren over to his house because Darren at the time didn't have a house. He just lived in a van in an alley.